Well, hello. Happy Easter. It's Easter afternoon, and I'm here at the garden center. I'm here at the garden plot. I was going to plant some radishes and beets today, but there's predicted 50, 60 mile an hour winds later tonight as a cold front comes through, and I just don't want the fleece to be pounding on those plants. I'll just wait till after the wind. I'd rather deal with the cold with the fleece than the wind with the fleece to get those planted, even though they are ready to plant. But today I'm going to plant some carrots. I got some Miracle-Gro Organic Performance garden soil that was on sale for $2.50 a bag. I'm going to spread that across the compost and plant the carrot seeds in there, as well as a little plot over here of some wildflowers, just to bring in some pollinators. So I'll show you those things. Yesterday I found some 8-foot T-posts that I'm going to be using for my trellis for my tomatoes. 8-footers around here are very rare, so I was glad I found those. They even fit in my car, which was even more amazing. I really need a truck, but you know, we do what we have. So we'll show you those things in a minute, and I just want to get these carrots in the ground and get them going. I'm going to spread a narrow row of the garden soil so that the seeds can go into there, and put the seeds into that and see if that helps with the germination instead of the really coarse compost. I'm also going to take the fleece up off some of these plants to see how they're doing, because I'm really curious of how they're doing with the cold. The low last night was 24, so yeah, it was 24. So we'll see how how well the fleece protected them. We'll be right back with the carrot planting in a second. So we're ready to plant the carrots. A couple things first. That potting soil from Scott's was just junk. That was just horrible. I just pushed it all off, put it in the compost pile, see how it goes. Second thing is, I thought Corona were supposed to be good tools. One little tap and the welds broke off of it. I think I got it at Lowe's. We'll have to see and take those back. But anyways, planting carrots. I'm going to be planting the Danvers 126 carrots. What I've done so far is made a couple narrow, shallow drills or rows with the broken trowel, and I'm just going to put a thin layer of seeds in each of these. So I'll do 2 of these rows on camera. Problem with carrots is getting them thin enough. You always have to thin them, but that's all right. You just eat the baby carrots as you thin them out. And it's probably not a good idea to be doing carrots on a windy day, but here we are anyways. So we'll pour a few into my hand. Get comfortable. Accentuate the drill and start spreading a few seeds in the drill hole. And then all you do is just take them and lightly cover them up. They're only supposed to be like a 1/4 inch down. So with the thicker compost, it's a little bit harder to get them covered as shallow as they should be. That's what I was hoping the garden soil would be a little bit better to do. And then when I get all these rows done, I'll just take the watering can and go over them and water them in well. All right, we'll water these in. That rock marks the end of the last row. Give this a good soak. Water's such a pain to get down here now, carrying buckets, but hopefully we get some steady rains until they get the water turned on. It's supposed to have a week of colder temperatures. Then I think it's supposed to moderate a little bit. But our last frost date isn't until the first week of May, sometimes even after that. Matter of fact, I've seen it snow here on Mother's Day, so you never know. Well, there's the carrots, or at least the first set of carrots planted. I'm curious as how well these plants have done in the cold and rain, so I want to take some of it off, at least part of the bed off, just to take a look at the plants, and hopefully I can get the cover back on. As you can see, it's pretty windy. That was the double layer I put on the other night. Don't really want to rip this too much, so take that down and let's take a look. they look pretty good. You can see the tomato, I don't know, maybe you can't, I'll get a close up. You can see a lot of the lettuce seedlings have come up, and I did a crappy job of spreading them out. The green onions look good. The lettuce looks really good. Some of the older leaves are a little bit crushed, but the middles are growing. Even the red leaf is there. Actually, the red's looking really good. Some of the edges got a little burned. That's all right, we'll pick those off. That middle one right here, this one got a little frosted on the end. This one had a broken leaf. But overall, I'm pretty happy. It looks dry on top, but you can see underneath it's pretty moist. So with the rain coming in, I'm not worried about watering them. Same with these seedlings. Let me give you a close-up of these seedlings. So the seedlings are doing pretty well. A little densely planted, but I'm assuming they'll space out. The green onion's doing really well. The green leaf lettuce looks really good. You can see the middle's growing really well. And the same for the red leaf. That's looking really good. So I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to go down and undo the spinach, but I'm assuming it's doing just as well as these. Alright, let's plant some wildflowers. So I have this little area by the tree next to the fence. Peas are planted to the left. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant to the right. Maybe some kale or sunflowers. But around that tree in about a 10-foot square area, I'm going to plant some wildflower seeds. Some pollinating, or flowers that draw pollinators. Before I go today and go make Easter dinner, I want to show you, I put in some sticks where I'm going to put my tomato plants, and then I'm going to have a trellis system about 6 feet up in the air that will run lines down so I can wind the tomato plants up so the tomato plants will grow up a string up to 6 feet tall. I wanted to see how many I could actually get in at 20-inch spacing, and there was about 14. I could probably squeeze in 15 if I wanted to. So I have to go see how many varieties I actually have growing and how many of those I can get in. But that's just what I wanted to show you. And then in between here, I'm going to plant the radishes, probably some other greens, short greens, maybe the choy in here too. Just because I'm not going to put the tomatoes in until after the last frost. The radishes will be about picked out by then. And then we'll put the tomato plants in, and then I'll plant something like some basil in front of those as the weather warms up. So that's all I have for today. I'm going to go make Easter dinner, and we'll be back later in the week and hopefully get those radishes, beets, and chard in the ground. Have a great Easter, everyone.